they went in and they surveyed students about their perceptions of how their peers were treating each other. And they found out that the vast majority of them really didn't like to see their peers being hurtful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, and so I've done that surveying more. I asked the question, who do you admire?
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? They admire those who are kind and respectful. They admire those who step in to help. They admire those who, if they were hurtful, stopped themselves and apologized,
Mm-hmm.
made things right. They admire, you know, and they don't admire those who are hurtful to support those who are being hurtful and stuff, you know, like that. Now, the interesting one in my data showed, I think I actually have that, I can get to it pretty, is the only area they had mixed feelings was if somebody was treated badly and retaliated.
Mm.
So I ask,
I need to learn that lesson.
I asked, were you hurtful? This was a one that I did on, this is a survey I did in 2015. So they were saying, admire, no opinion one way or the other, do not admire. I should have had mixed opinions. Kind and respectful, help someone who's treated badly, tell someone who's being hurtful to stop, help someone who's hurtful decide to make things right. Were treated badly and responded in a positive way, report serious concerns to an adult, lower. Were hurtful but stopped and made things right. Treated badly and retaliated. Yeah, isn't that interesting?
Mm-hmm.
Ignored hurtful situations involving others. Laugh when seeing somebody's being treated badly. Create hurtful drama to get attention and think it's cool to be disrespectful for others. Now, if young people are motivated by what their peers think, then what do you think happens when you show them this data?
I mean, it will, yeah, it will modify their outlook.
Yeah.
What words would you use to describe somebody who steps in to help?
Those are their words?
Those are their words,
Interesting.
based in a word cloud format.
Nice.
What's your normal reaction if you see a student being hurtful to somebody? I don't like to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So once you have those positive norms gained through a survey, and what, I don't think I have that here, what the study did was they created posters. The only intervention was they created posters to say, hey, 89% of your peers don't like to see it if you're hurtful, teasing others, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Decrease, in one school, 37% decrease in bullying.
What is that effect called? Is it?
The theory that I know it by is positive social norms.
Right.
And they've used it to reduce drinking, binge drinking at the college level.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically, if you know that your peers aren't all binge drinking, then
Right.
it's easier for you to say, I'm not going to do that. And so that's you know, so one piece of the situation from my perspective in reducing is we have to have student leaders in the schools being in charge of the activities, the kind and compassionate, not the athletic director's picks,
Right.
okay?
Yeah.
And so there's got to be a way to get them in, and that I've included that in my instruction guide of here's how you get people in. And eventually you want to get, what you want to do is you want to get to the point that you've got older students intervening at the 4th, 5th grade level. Because if you can get the kids who want to be leaders,
Mm-hmm.
before puberty really thoroughly kicks in, before they transition to 6th grade, and then you can get them on the path of kind, compassionate leadership, as opposed to this is how I need to behave, you know. So that's my theory. I haven't tested that out, but my thinking is if you can have older kids talking to younger ones, and if you can get down to the fourth, 5th grade level, that's going to significantly improve things in middle school. Now, a friend of mine used this approach. So the approach is, you do the survey, you get the data, you put that into a slideshow, and the crazy thing happens, you know, most kids in I'm going to this assembly, you know, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you show them their data, and they're totally in.
Yeah, this is about you.
Yeah, this is about you. I did this. I have a friend I was working with in West Virginia. He's a school social worker. He's at the university level now. I did a presentation to school resource officers on digital safety. And I was talking in the morning, and every single one of them were, almost all male, crew cuts, you know. Yeah, tell me, yeah, your kids are, actually the majority are making safe choices, yeah, right. But we had done a survey of Gary's students, of West Virginia students, and he came in slightly later, he had a long time to drive, and we started showing them their data, and it was like, wow. It's really, it's marvelous. So, and then what we've got to do is we have to recognize that every single young person is going to face hurtful situations throughout their life, either as a witness, the one who has made a mistake and has been hurtful, or the one to whom somebody is being hurtful.
Right.
So we've got to figure out how to impart the specific skills to be able to handle that. So I've broken it down into 5. Reach out to be kind. How? Well, you ask on the survey, you ask them, how can you reach out to be kind? And you find that they already know that. So you just feed back to them. You know how to be kind. No problem. Here.
Right.
However, what if you see somebody in a really tense situation and you want to help them get out of there without getting your throat slit? Okay? How can you help them? Well, here's a specific strategy.
Yeah.
And if your friends are having a conflict, how can you reach out, be kind to them, and help them resolve that conflict? And that's just problem solving in the context of conflict resolution. It's the same problem, I call it think things through, but it's the same problem solving strategy throughout. Then the second one is say stop. Well, that's the scariest. And you have to make sure you're safe if you're going to say stop. So, but one thing you need to know is, how do people rationalize when they're being hurtful? Bandura's mechanisms of moral disengagement, you might have come across in your studies. There are 4 primary ways that we make excuses to try to rationalize when we've been hurtful. Number 1, we spin it. It's just a prank. Locker room talk. We deny personal responsibility. You know, this is just, you know, it happens. This is social. Yeah, everybody does it, or somebody else should have fixed it. You know, anyway. 3 is we deny the harm. It was just, you know, he's overreacting. It was just, anyway. And number 4 is we blame the victim. He or she deserved it. So if we